Kaz, you're like the mystery man. When I read your stats here about what you're doing, everybody else seems to be knowing what they're doing. They know which team they're riding for. They've been testing in Spain already. It's just to be confirmed. You up to your neck in work at the minute, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been working a lot at the minute, James. So I'm putting my own package together. I've just decided to do it myself, try and do the job right. You know, I'm coming off the back of, in my standards, I consider a couple of bad seasons, and I haven't been able to ride the bikes the way I want to. So I've put my money where my mouth is. I've gone and invested in myself and going to go buy a couple of GSX-Rs. I've gone and bought the old East Coast Racing Triumphs off Lee Johnston's team, and I'm riding the WK factory bike still. So, you know, I've got a little bit of common ground there for this season.
I'm quite impressed. I mean, I've seen people do that before, and it's worked. And sometimes it has, sometimes it hasn't. But you feel like you've got a little bit of control in that. You think the control thing is what you're getting back.
Yeah, over the last couple of seasons, all the time with these teams, sometimes I get to do it my way. You know, they're in charge, and I've shown when I do it my way. You know, when I've run with my old sponsor John Chapman, we built bikes, and I run at the front. So going back to the old formula, hopefully I do know what I'm doing, and I can prove that I do.
You've been a little bit unlucky. You double TT winner both in the Supersport class. I would have said your best class really on paper that you're fastest in, probably the big bike, or certainly Superstock. Do you think you've been a bit unlucky? You've led races, got oil leaks. You've led races, slid off. You've led races, and have you run out of fuel leading ones?
Yeah, it's Superbike wise, I've led I think 3 whilst breaking down, fuel pumps, running out of fuel, and different things, engine blow-ups. But that's how the TT is, isn't it? Superstock, you know, I thought I had that Superstock race, good lead. We was matching each other for sectors, but oil on your boot, it wasn't my day to roll the dice. So, and then unfortunately 014 when I hit the damp spot going up the hill. So just how the cookie crumbles, you know what I mean? I'm here to come back, and I'm going to try and put some records straight.
Well, I'm just going to say, from what you're saying, there's a real point to prove kind of edge to what you're saying. Yeah,
it is a point to prove. That's what I want to do, but you know, I'm going on a new manufacturer. I'm putting all the workload on my shoulders, and my dad. You know what I mean? It's back to the old club racing days, and I will be coming in a transit van type thing, and setting up, hopefully looking the part, and just going and concentrating on riding the motorbike. I'm going to put a lot of time into the bike beforehand, and try and get it so it works before I get here, and not wait till we get here, do loads of short circuit riding, set the bike up and come here, start doing 200 mile an hour, and the thing just don't want to go in a straight line.
But do you feel like it's taking a risk with a brand new GSX-R? Because we've seen that people have come here with brand new bikes and failed. However, the stories that are coming out of wherever people are testing, I saw them being run down, and Phillip Island when I was down there for World Superbike. Bike looks good.
Yeah, it's always a risk with a new bike, but I did a fair bit of research. You know, the Yamaha came out, and obviously it wasn't a great success. You know, but some of that, it was a fantastic short circuit bike, and I think it still is a fantastic road racing bike. It just needs the right formula to get the key points to make it a good bike. They're all generically computer designed nowadays, and one's a bit lighter here and a bit more weight there, but you know, the rake trail and offsets are all the same, and you know, they're gently morphing into the same bikes a little bit, just with different characteristics. So as long as I find out where the sweet spot on the Suzuki is, I think I won't have too much problem. The only unknown to me that I don't know about is the electronics package on it. How good it is as standard, because obviously that completely changes how a bike's going to feel. But the reports are good. It's a good, easy bike. It looks like it's got plenty of flex built into it. The frame spars look nice and slim. You don't want a bike too stiff around here over these bumps, and fingers crossed, eh?
Your background's a bit different. You were quite a successful motocrosser before you started coming and doing the TT or doing any road racing. What's your earliest memories of the TT? Did your dad ever bring you, or was it after all your motocross career?
Yeah, I did motocross in the early days, but and I think that got me good for jumping and hitting stuff hard and bumps and stuff. But no, the TT was never on my radar. You know, I watched it on Men and Motors back in the day a little bit, and to be fair, all you saw was yeah, Bray Hill looked fast at the bottom, and all you saw was End of Sulby Straight, the slow corner there, Parliament Square, slow corner, Hairpin, slow corner, bit across the mountain maybe for a second, and then into the nook, and I went, oh, it's not very fast, that is it? You know what I mean? How wrong was I? I mean, and well, to be fair, James, first one I went in a lap with you and Shuey round, and that was the first lap round. You pointed a couple of things out to me, which I still remember, as you go up Craig Willis Hill and there's the lamp post and it's offset, and just aim for the lamp post, and I still use that a little bit. But then coming here, and the first lap you fly around and doing stuff, and then that first lap where you took Bray Hill flat nuts on a flying lap, and it just drops off the edge of a cliff, and you're doing 180 odd mile an hour still accelerating, and that. I went to bed that night and that's all I could think. And I was just going vroom down the hill, and I was just going straight down the hill all the time, and I just went, didn't sleep that night. It was just, and I don't think that's ever left me. Yeah, that bit there.
Your first year here, your background in motocross became apparent at Ballaugh Bridge. I've never seen anybody jumping. Actually, I've seen a lot of big jumps there that have gone wrong or going wrong. Yours were actually, you were like that, front wheel just up enough, quite nice.
Apparently there is the record, and I've got highest furthest jump, but that was an accident, that lap. I was overtaking James Edmead, a good friend who was doing it with us that year, and I'd gone past down the outside of him, missed my braking marker. I was going that fast. I just thought, well, I can't do it but accelerate to keep the front end up with your motocross technique, and I jumped, and I thought I was going over the pub nearly, as a few other people did, but I calmed it down since then. Yeah, I did a one-hander over it that year, and tried to get myself in motorcycle news or something was my idea, but yeah, the key to a good lap time isn't doing big jumps and saving the bike, but I can jump a bike and keep it soft landing. You know, you see some lads do small jumps and come down really heavy. There's definitely a technique to jumping a motorcycle and landing it safe. You
talked about it's not key to a fast lap. What is key? Is there certain sections you like, certain sections you think you got to work? You're never going to say as a rider, I don't like that section, because you won't allow yourself not to like it. But what's the bits you really enjoy around here?
I love the fast corners. Any big kahuna corners is the ones I like. I do love the wrinkle and over the jumps. Yeah. The ginger ale section, you know, where the bumps, that is where the motocross really comes in. But again, I love every sector if the bike's working well. You know, there isn't a bit I don't like. I'm slower up the mountain than what I should be, because in comparison to my other sectors, it's not something I think I struggle with, but obviously there's some key points I'm not getting right, which I keep working on every year. But if the bike's good, I like the sectors. If the bike's bad, which I've had some bad handling bikes in the early days, and I hated the whole course. You know what I mean? It's just a challenge. But in fairness, you know, you grip the bull by the horns, and you kind of enjoy the challenge as well at the same time. You know, you can't ever replicate the feeling and the joy you get out of doing a lap round here, whether it's hard or easy, as so to speak. You put so much into it. You know, the feeling's awesome.
What would you be happy with? It's hard to have goals coming here. You don't want to come and build yourself up and then not have it happen, or put extra pressure on yourself. But you've already said that you know you can go quicker than you've shown for the last couple of years. What would make you happy this come June?
I think this June is to start finishing some races. You know, I've had 4 years of bikes breaking down. Every one of them mechanical. You know what I mean? Even some of the races I finished, you know, 50, I had no gear lever on the bike. I had a little stub to change gear with my heel and stuff, and I was running in a good position and dropped right back. And you know, I haven't shown my true lap speed by any means of it. So to actually get my speeds out there that I can more than capable of, and just get good across the board results, whether that's at the front, on the podium, or top 5s, even top 10s. But I know where I want them, I know what I'm aiming for, but it's just to get some consistency across each class, because I'm fast in the Supersport, fast on the Superstock when it's right, and I'm fast on the Superbike. So I just want them all to come together and just start
keep going.
Get some good laps in. I don't think I haven't done 6 laps in a Superbike or senior, only twice in the last few years. So last 4 years. So need to get some good solid 6-lap races out.
Good luck, guys.
Cheers, mate.